This video is for providers who were initially certified anytime before the current state fiscal year, and will walk you through the steps to complete the critical access rate attestation and tool. Please have both of these documents open so that you can follow along with the video. This is the critical access rate attestation. At the top is just general information about where you can access the critical access rate tool and this video tutorial, but also it notes that the attestation will need to be completed for each separate assisted living location. So if you have more than one location serving waiver consumers, you will need to complete an attestation for each of those locations. Section A is the first section that you'll need to complete. Each of the fields needs to be completed in its entirety before we can approve the critical access rate. So if any information is missing, it will be sent back to you and asked that you complete it. The assisted living Medicaid waiver number is a 7-digit number, and if you do not know your Medicaid ID, please contact your PAA, Provider Relations staff, and they will be able to get that information to you. Next on the attestation, for providers who were certified during any point prior to the current state fiscal year, you will complete Section C. You do not complete Section B. That is for providers who were newly certified during the current state fiscal year. So for Section C, there are 3 questions, and you will answer these questions by using the CAR tool, which we'll get into next how to complete that. And then there's guidance underneath each of these questions on how to complete the CAR tool, but also where your answer for each of these will be. So this is asking for daily census information for the current state fiscal year. So you will need data for each of the dates in the current state fiscal year. You will also need data for your Medicaid enrollment for your facility for the current state fiscal year. And then finally, question number 3 is about percentage of the residents to demonstrate that there was 50% or more on average residents enrolled in the Medicaid waiver program for the current state fiscal year. Next, we'll get into how to complete the tool and answer the questions in Section C. This is the CAR tool, and you'll note that there are 2 columns, column B, which is the daily census, and column C, which is your daily Medicaid census. Because you are completing the information for this for the current state fiscal year, you will need data information that goes back to July of last year, but again, that's the current state fiscal year, July 1st through June 30th. As you complete this information, you'll note that the values, once they're entered, will change the cell count, will change the cell color from red to white. And this is to just draw your eye to the lines that you may have missed on accident as you're entering information. Also want to point out that if you are adding a value in column C that is higher than the value in column D, an error message will come up just in case you accidentally put in the wrong value. So as you go through, you'll also note that these numbers are changing the number in column E, which is the average daily percentage of residents enrolled in Medicaid. This is going to essentially give you the answer to question number 3 in Section C about whether or not that 50% threshold is being met or not. And again, that guidance is on the attestation tool. As you scroll down, again, you'll need data for each date in the current state fiscal year. You will also see that the numbers are changing at the bottom. These are the answers to questions 1 and 2. And we also know that because you'll be receiving this information in June, you will not have June dates, but we do expect that you complete this information up until the date that you have the submission sent to us. So again, just to show you an example here, we'll do some values so you can see that total changing as well. So As we move forward into the next few slides, we're going to talk about this other tab, Medicaid IDs, in the next slide, and how to complete the rest of Section C. Going back to Section C on the attestation are directions on how to complete the other tab on the CAR tool. The last time we had asked you to complete information on the CAR tool, we allowed you to select the 3-month period of resident information to share with us to audit. This time around, we are asking that all providers send us information from January, February, and March of the current state fiscal year. That is just to allow for ease of auditing purposes so that it is consistent across all of the attestations. Each of the pieces that need to go into the CAR tool are identified on the attestation, and then we ask that you save that CAR tool and then send the attestation to us via share file. Let's get into how you'll complete the last part of the CAR tool next. The second tab on the CAR tool is the Medicaid IDs and MyCare. This tab must be complete, and we will be reviewing that for completeness when it is submitted to bill for the critical access rate. You will need the resident's first name, their last name, their Medicaid ID, and the CAR tool will only allow you to use 12 digits. So if you have fewer than 12 digits, or if you have more than 12 digits, you will receive an error message. Additionally, the date of birth, we will require this specific format to be reflected here in the document. If it's not, you will receive an error message. And then for those residents who were enrolled either in the MyCare plan or PACE, we are asking that you select the applicable program. If they are enrolled in the traditional assisted living waiver program, you can leave column E blank. Do not duplicate names if you have residents who were in the facility in January, February, March only for a week, for example. We still want to see their names. We will be validating the information that is on the second tab against the information that is on the daily census tab here. So please make sure that each of the residents that receive services on one of the Medicaid plans was reflected here. We will not accept reports that were run and attached in share file. All of the resident information must be reflected on this document. The final section on the attestation is Section D, and it asks for your name and title, signature and date, and you will save this information, including the CAR tool, and upload it to share file. If you have any questions about completing the critical access rate tool or the attestation, you may email me or call me. Thank you, and this concludes the recording for the tutorial.